Pedro Pascal wears women's clothes. That's not a tabloid spin. It came straight from Dakota Johnson on a national television interview. She says Pedro Pascal regularly raids her closet and walks out in her sweaters. It's not a one-time thing either. So according to her, Pedro Pascal does this a lot. And when you stack that on top of the other headlines Pedro Pascal keeps making, well, it's starting to look like more like a pattern than a quirk, okay? Now, on June 2nd episode of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Materialists star Dakota Johnson casually revealed a recurring habit. Pedro Pascal raids wardrobes, specifically her wardrobe, when he's underdressed. A small quirk, maybe, but it's a glimpse behind the curtain of his public image, a peek at something fans might call eccentric. Now, I'm going to be honest, I hope this isn't a regular thing for Pedro Pascal, and I hope this is just like a one movie thing where he was just being playful and everything. But from what the reports are saying out there, based on the interview, and I don't know, but I'm just hoping that the perception is wrong about it, but I could be wrong. Okay, now Johnson shared a photo from the 2024 Steve Nicks concert in London, pointed to a sweater and said flatly, "That's my sweater." She didn't elaborate with warm jokes or highlight it as a charming anecdote. She just stated the fact. And Pedro Pascal had grabbed something from her closet, turned it into his look for the evening. All right. She said he does that a lot, Johnson added. Her tone more amused than annoyed. That offhand remark reveals a behavior pattern. Pedro Pascal treating shared costume as a casual closet fodder. Actors borrow clothes, sure, it happens, but when it's turned into a public story, it shapes a narrative around personality. Now, Fallon didn't make it a big deal of it. The audience laughed along, and Johnson doubled down on the story itself. She said Pedro Pascal routinely turned up cold wearing a t-shirt in chilly weather and resolved it by swiping someone else's sweater. The detail that he didn't forget his pants underscored that this wasn't a wardrobe malfunction, but a deliberate choice to borrow. Okay, so this bit of news is coming from thatparkplace.com and everything. So, yeah, up to now, it's been largely taken as affectionate quirkiness, but this anecdote followed a string of other eyebrow-raising moments. Pedro Pascal dancing suggestively around a rainbow pole at the Last of Us rap party, licked by paparazzi lenses. It's the kind of viral oddball behavior that hangs around in inboxes and social feeds, okay? And then there was also Pedro Pascal suggesting on camera that Johnson start a paid adult photo site. Delivered with a grin and offhand comment, co-workers laughed. Maybe it seemed like, pals messing around, but now it joins the wardrobe raiding tale as a part of a larger pattern. Pedro Pascal's private persona generating public headlines. Now, to some, it's harmless. A friendly roommate vibe. A star not taking himself too seriously. But taken all together, those incidents edge from quirky to off center. Now, when big budget studios have billions in revenue riding on you, your off screen habits suddenly feel less like personality quirks and more like consider before you hire red flags. All right. And Hollywood's PR machine has been quick to frame Pascal as a lovable goof, charming, spontaneous, human. And fans repost the sweater swipe story under the assumption it's all part of a relatable entertainment package. But he's nearly 50, top billed in like a lot of projects and stuff, too many, and now those antics are stacking up in headlines faster than his acting credits. Now, fans and critics have noticed. Some socially post that this is just fun, candid, endearingly unfiltered. Others ask, why is a grown actor bankrolled by Disney level budgets turned into a walking social media meme? Now, the tone is shifting from cute to curious, especially among people who actually expect more polish from actors at this level. Okay. Now, when wardrobe choices and photo op behaviors actually go ahead and grab more attention than your roles, that shift from actor to anecdote is underway. Now, Pascal's latest reported style wandering off stage in women's clothes reads as a headline hook rather than insight into creative process. Now, it's a shift worth noting, okay? Now, Materialists, hymned by past Laughs director Celine Song, features Pedro Pascal and Johnson in romantic comedy mode set against New York City fashion culture. That connection between the film setting and Pedro Pascal's real-life fashion choices makes his reported sweater swiping feel almost on the nose, a case of imitating art or at least popping into it, okay? Now, Dakota Johnson hasn't elaborated beyond the Fallon story, and Pedro Pascal hasn't issued a statement, but his known inclination toward offbeat behavior makes a response less likely. You see, Pedro Pascal is built a brand on surprising the public, encouraging viral moments, embracing surprise as part of his persona. Now, that approach hasn't slowed down, okay? Now, oddball behavior is one thing, off-putting pattern is another. You see, Hollywood can live with weird humor, but it draws a line when the narrative shifts from talented actor with quirks to marketing tool with no filter. The public's tolerance for off the wall grows thin when it overshadows actual work, okay? That said, Pedro Pascal's acting history is solid. The Mandalorian and the first season of The Last of Us showed him nuanced, capable, and compelling. Now, this wardrobe rape and wild praise beyond the screen simply adds layers. One some viewers may find entertaining, others distracting. It's less distracting for fans of his work, more distracting for folks with money on his future earnings, okay? But bottom line, the story here isn't that Pedro Pascal wears women's clothes. It's that his public behavior is a part of a pattern, one that's painting him as unpredictable. Now that'll play well with some, raised eyebrows with others, and but when you're a bankable actor, unpredictability isn't always a safe image, okay? Now, if Pedro Pascal wants to protect his reputation and Hollywood's faith in him, maybe he should stop swiping sweaters and let the costumes department handle it. Or maybe thoughts of relocating skirts into the public story aren't worth the headlines. A grown man in his at 50 approach would be able to grow up a bit. He hasn't, at least not publicly. And while his online persona carries some fans deeper into his work, it may also carry others away. If the goofball antics come to feel like overshadowing the actor, all right? But all of which leaves Pedro Pascal with the choice. Lean into the weird headlines and see where the ride goes, or pull back. Let his talent speak for itself and let others borrow sweaters. Now, if he keeps encouraging, co-workers to monetize private bits, I mean, that's part of the public story now too. But basically in short, Pedro Pascal's career remains strong. His performances still land, but these repeated off-screen stunts add up. And while some studios might tolerate them, well, audiences and business partners are watching. The wardrobe rating, I mean, it doesn't seem harmless anymore. It's a red flag in long form though. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoy or shared the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for future uploads notifications. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.